Hello, everyone. Welcome to Abnormal Investigations. I hope everybody's doing all right tonight. I've been looking forward to tonight. We have a special guest we're going to have on with us here in a little bit. Should be a really, really interesting night to say the least. Um, I'm looking very forward to it. I know that a lot of you's been looking forward to it. I've had a lot of you reach out to me and are excited to have the Wolf Lady on, the one y'all see in the chat most of the time. Most of y'all are friends with by knowing who she is. She's a huge supporter of the channel and shows up a lot. So we are very happy to have her here with us tonight um, to share some of her knowledge and. Oop, my phone was talking back to me. I thought I was hearing things. Thought I was talking to myself. I guess whenever I want good advice, I just talk to myself, right? All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring Jessie on the scene. That way I can get her up in here before we do the roll call and we start getting everything ready to kick off in just a little bit.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for the close-up.
Do you like it?
No.
You like that close
I
up?
don't. No, I don't like it. Thanks. That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah, a lot better.
Are you happy? Are you happy now?
I'm always happy.
I could do like a super huge close up of you. I figured out how to do that.
No, that's okay. I'm good. Seriously.
Tim, thank you very much for that. God bless you for that. So, before we do the
Hello,
roll call, we'll
Karen.
give everybody
Hello,
just
Margie. Oh, everybody was saying hi to me, so I'm saying hi back.
and just so everybody knows, we're not walking on each other. We do have a lag. I'm pretty sure we have a pretty big lag tonight, it seems.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Hello, Pink Pixie.
Are you getting a big
Tansy.
lag on your end?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yeah, I thought we was. That's okay. We'll
That's
just be
okay.
rude to each other.
Well, and we're not talking anyways tonight. We're listening to the Wolf Lady, so it's all good.
Now, I'm going to interrupt her. I'm going to be like the interrupting pig. No,
Okay.
I got to be good. She doesn't live that far from me. She's one of those that can come and actually find me.
Oh, I don't think she would do that.
Oh yeah, she would. She is the true cryptid boots on the ground. She is not the
The,
fake one for sure.
the true cryptid huntress.
That's right.
Hmm.
Well, if you want to, I'll let you go ahead and everyone that needs prayers for the prayer list, if you have those,
Yep. So I did
that
actually
they're
go back and check. I did check today. So uh, again, continued prayers for Connie. Continued prayers for Lisa Ann's sister Carolyn and Letitia and Barton Nunley and Stevie B and Moggs. Um, Prayers have been working very well for Kat's grandma. She is on the road to recovery, so thank you everyone for keeping her in your prayers. That's it.
all right. Awesome. I
Mm-hmm.
love to hear when people are doing good. I hate to hear
Yep.
people doing bad. That really bothers me. So tomorrow night, guys, after this show, tomorrow night we're going to have Travis Carpenter on with us. He's on tomorrow night live. We're going to be going over some more of the Sasquatch DNA project. Truth, I think, denied. Um,
Yep.
I got the video out today from Wide Open Adventures. If a lot of you all would like to see the area that I'm in right now, how much flooding there is, and why nobody could walk up to where I was at, I think the video will speak for itself. We have broke the video down more thanks to you guys, the viewers, that have broke it down for us and sent us in photographs. And the more we're looking at the photographs, the more it appears that it may not have been an individual. It's starting to lean more toward something cryptid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to say definitively at this point, but I am starting to lean more to the unknown, we'll put it that way, than I am
Yeah,
positively going to
definitely
say somebody.
not the normal. Definitely the abnormal.
It is definitely abnormal. That's the way we roll around here. If you ain't abnormal, then you ain't normal.
Yeah.
uh, that actually is one of the areas that if Jesse and everything works out with bringing Hunter home, I suspect Hunter is going to be home by fall. That Jesse will be able to come down and do a collaboration. That's one of the areas that I want to take her to is that area, and also would like to take her to where I've been finding the spook light because I know she's into spook lights. So I think that would be really interesting for her to have a chance to photograph and video a spook light, which we'll send the spook lights over to the wolf lady. She can have all those. We don't want no spook lights.
Prayers for Qbot.
Yeah. So I'm going to do roll call real fast, and with that said, we're going to get the wolf lady in here, and we are going to get her on the pedestal where we can drill her. AI Nanny Pam, good to see you. Romans 1:16, good to see you. It is Romans. The more you look at it, the weirder it is. Starfire, good to see you. Lisa, good to see you. AI Mode is in the house. Good to see you with the quick fingers. Belinda Kruger, good to see you. Pink Pixie, Emmy Tongue, CRJ Designs, Lisa, OCST, Jason B, Sharon Guy's in the house moderating. We got a lot of people up in here. Drew's in here. Silver Bullet's in here. Virginia's in here. We got a lot of our normal faces that we normally see in here. Qbot, prayers for Qbot, of course. Um, Jason B, I think we've named off everybody that's chatting. Chickadee's in here. Grace is in here. Lisa Ann's moderating. Hello, Sabrina. It was good visiting with you earlier. You really knocked it out of the park. Drew's in here. So we got a Tommy Tams in here. Hope I said that right. Or Tammy Tams. Sorry. I knew I was going to screw up somewhere. Oh, Jessie wanted in here. There's Jessie, guys. She's in here moderating. And then we got Brittany Joseph in here. She just wanted to hear me say her voice. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Without further ado, I would like everybody to please welcome the one and only, the Wolf Lady from the hills of Oklahoma, Lisa.
Hey guys, excuse how I look, but I planned on going outside and I had to change everything around. And I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read the chat. So I told everybody to have their name in capital letters if they wanted to say hi. And I wanted to do this, like the Brady Bunch. Hi. I always wanted to do that. Like woohoo! And so anyway, I'm reclining back here, guys. So, Mike, what I do just talk, and it's weird not talking to the people though.
No, you just
Anyway,
go ahead.
here's what
Oh, as far as telling your story?
I'm gonna do this little prayer. I always just. All right. Dear Lord, Jehovah God, in Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Dear Lord, please help me be able to share the knowledge and the wisdom that I've gained over these 51 years. Lord, you know what all's happened, and you know how I keep on keeping on for the legacy of my father. And I will do this till the day I die, and you know that. Put a special hedge of protection around every one of us here and everyone in the chat. And like I said, let the Holy Spirit speak through me and get these horrible things said out loud. And I plead the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 No kids. No kid. No cornbread. Please tell them that no children around.
Yeah, we have a warning. We done at the beginning of the show a disclaimer.
Okay,
Just
well,
as
I'm warning them too. Okay, you want me to?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm the wolf lady. It's really me. I've got my little necklace, my golden stallions from when Michael interviewed me for the witness comes forward on the Locust Grove Girl Scout murders. That'd be me. Oh, so I got my leather, I got all sorts of stuff. But last year, there's some people that said I didn't exist. So Michael made me up, and that he never ever did research on the Girl Scouts, and that the Girl Scout Mars weren't even true. And I thought, how dare him do that to them little earth angels? So anyway, I put my life on the line because there's still people that are around the killers. There's still some around live. I went ahead and used my real name to let them know, yes, I am real. This is real. That Michael did tons and tons of research on that. And the reason I picked him is because he's a good Oklahoma country boy. And because he was true blue to what he believed in. So that's how me and Mike, that's how me and Cornbread, and I gave him a nickname, Cornbread. But y'all, if I'm sitting like this, it's because I'm leaning on stuff. But anyway, I'm going to be telling you guys some very, very gruesome things that unalived some people. And right now, I'm dedicating this to you, Daddy, Johnny, Dennis, and Jimmy. And see, I lost everybody that lived here at my house, and my loved ones. Last year, 4 of them within 5.5 months. So I'm dealing with that right now. So anyway, we're gonna go to okay. My family, we raise exotic and domestic animals, and we ship them all over the United States, Puerto Rico, and Canada. So I do know animals pretty daggone good. Pretty daggone. I know their sounds. I know their bites. Okay. I'm a California Okie. And anyway, we're going to kick this off with I hope people have seen the witness comes forward, because I'm going to be talking about my dreaded uncle and the ritualistic with sacrifices. And anyway, I'm going to go. That's what we're going to do right now. So I was working on a ranch, and I get a phone call. Y'all are going in and out. Okay, I get a phone call. It's people wanting me to go to work at Eureka Springs, Arkansas, at the Crescent Hotel. Okay, and I'm sitting there going, what? Like making beds, I'm like, I almost said no, guys. I almost told them no. So anyway, I said, yeah. But they said, well, it's one of the hauntedest most hotels in the United States. And I said, I'm in. I said, when you want me there? They said, as soon as I get there, and it's hop, skip, and jump. So I'm working as a tour guide in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, Crescent Hotel. And it is like the castle. It has a red carpet when you walk in, and you feel like a queen. And I felt like I've been there before. Well, anyway, they walked us to this elevator that go, the old kind that go click, 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 and the bellboy goes down. They go down, 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 down. Well, guess where the employees that wanted to live there, I got to live there with my son. So anyway, the employees that got to live there, we lived in the basement. That's where we lived at. Hey, are you two able to hear me? Because you guys keep going in and out.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. So we did in the basement, and yeah, it's haunted. My son could see the ghost, but I could feel him, but not see him as well. So anyway, I was working there and had a day or two off, and I went back home to the house of horrors. I'm talking about the main house I grew up in. Now, this house is where Buddy Bristol, he's one of the ones who killed the Girl Scouts, tried to unalive me and my sister, raises my sister. And we got fire pokers and everything, and they were scared us. Well, anyway, last summer when I was working on my documentary, we figured out that was hours before the murder. Just hours. It wasn't a day. Like in the interview, I put 24 to 36 hours. No, it was like that in a few hours later after that. So he was really trying to get us. So anyway, I needed some backup. So my daddy, which this is two different, my dad had an Indian home. My dad lived up there. My Nana and Papa, we lived down here. It's two different people. I don't want people to ever get that confused as the same person. My dad come down there and goes, daughter, call me daughter. If you're going to keep on going in the woods, you need to learn how to survive. And I'm like, okay, well, I meet this Montana mountain man, and he was for real. Get this, what he looked like. He was about 6'4". He was tall, lean but muscular, had country boy black hair, had gray, kind of hazel eyes. Okay. Well, my first Bigfoot sighting was when I was 10. My papa yelled at me, "Hey, Liz, you better stop them horses from stampeding." And they were running. Running. And there's barbed wire fence. And I'm like, look, like, yeah, right. I'm gonna go jump in front of them horses. Yeah, well, I looked at my papa, and I went, I went and stopped the horses. When I stopped them horses, I looked up the corner of our field, a great big red brown Sasquatch, Bigfoot, whatever you want to call him. We named him Roy Boy. And over the years, he started coming through the orchards and the berries, stuff like that. He was cool. And I was 10 years old, and I would get on my little pony, and I'd have me a knapsack, I'd have me a canteen, and my Himalayan cat, which that's a long-haired Siamese, would jump up, and my Nana's little poodle followed me. They didn't do it all the time, but off I would go to the woods. This is 10 years old. I told them I wanted to be a Bigfoot. I wanted to do this ever since I was 10. And like, it obsesses you through life. It's like, I don't know if it gets in your blood or what. But anyway, I got older, started riding horses. But I'd ride down to Sling Courthouse almost every weekend. If anybody knows about Sling Courthouse, it's where they did hangings. And people would gather there like a festival. I mean, they'd bring covered wagons, and they'd bring wagons and their family to watch this. And these guys would sit there, take a picture, just smiling, and then they'd be going up the gallows to get hanged. So like, happy hanging. So anyway, I used to go there almost every weekend, and I'd go in the caves, and whole lot of experience there that we're on the Google later tonight. But anyway, so that was peaceful to me. I could sleep. But our place was on a private road and on a cliff that you couldn't see it from running. And we were on dead man's curves. People wrecked and got killed there all the time. And my family would go down there and help them out. So you got that spiritual energy right there going straight to that house of horrors, what I call it. Then we got the Running Creek, which runs right down to the Girl Scout camp. So there you go, there, and the quartz crystal and all that. And we got caves, but our caves were littler caves. Like one that was raised like my sister, their caves we could walk straight in. And we had a lot of experience on that one. But anyway, trying to set the picture of how haunted and just how scared I was to be at this place, So anyway, I got that Montana mountain man, and he goes, I told him about the Girl Scouts, and I told him, yep, my uncle had a car wreck, and he wrecked there on the curb, and he was like mutilated. And me and my daddy were the first ones to go down there. So, here I am, I'm 13, 14, going to be 14, looking at body parts. This is for real. And then the ambulance comes. Anybody lives in the country knows how long it takes a freaking ambulance to get there. So anyway, I had to pass that every day, going to school, back to school, going to store that every freaking day. He tormented me, Anyway, so I wanted to know what kind of creature that they conjured up, whether it was from, whether it's from DNA, from your blood in your body, from your lineage, from your generations of your family, from generation curses, or from curses, or for some people conjuring them up to do their bidding. And if it's in a dimensional, if you're vibration or what, because I've done many, many experience with different people, and I usually go out horseback and with my wolves. I don't ever take card, and no way. I do it natural, and that's why I get so much, with my life. But anyway, so He goes, "Yep, you got to get to the core problem." I said, "What do you mean by that?" He goes, "You got to get to it." So he meant going to my uncle's circle. And Michael, you know, all them people bugging me about my uncle's circle. So I'm thinking, wow, is this guy going to be creepy or is he going to really help me? Well, anyway, he was making his own bullets and he made like mercury filled bullets. Have you ever heard of them before? With mercury?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So he had that and we're going up. First I let loose our Dobermans had the warlock bloodline out of Germany with the dog whistles and German commands. So I let them loose around the main house. Then I let loose the Rhodesian Ridgebacks. And they got a ridge running backwards down their back and squirrels. They are from Africa. They are lion hunting dogs. They are not scared of anything thus far. Thus far. Thus far. Well, anyway, got up there, got in there, and it's an older trailer, and it is like a foot on each side of a normal trailer, littler. They're from the 60s or 70s, and on the other end was where they have their rituals, and part of where she had the baby, and I found him dancing waters. Anyway, I am Native American. I'm Cherokee and Choctaw and white, and I do sweats with Lakota Sioux and other ones. But anyway, these rituals here, guys, are I'll tell you what I see. When I was little, I see them going around naked, and then they put animal pelts on their backs. They put different animal pelts that run around circles, and the next thing you know, I've been taken off back home, but you can hear the hollers with different types of critters in the woods. So anybody that's Native American or white or whatever that knows what type of ceremony I'm talking about, that's what type of ceremonies are going on there, right there where I'm at. Okay. I was petrified, but I had my Montana mountain man. And he goes, "Okay, do what you normally do." And I go, "Okay." So I had my son's mink blankets, a Korean mink blanket, and had him there. And I had I didn't think, guys, honest with you, I thought it'd be paranormal stuff flying off the wall, stuff, just normal paranormal stuff is what I thought would happen. Well, I thought wrong. Anyway, had a cannon fruit cocktail. This is really important, guys. I put it on the shelf. And those shelves that are in them trailers have the pocket doors. Okay, well, about that time, the animals are going crazy. And we had like where the birds were, where the all different types of animals are going nuts. And then I heard the Rhodesian Ridgebacks going two flank at a point. So they already had their two flanks and point set up. They're getting ready for the kill. Something's there. So I sat there and I was reading the Hobbit. I read the Hobbit to the Big Bits. Okay, it's way before the movies come out. They seem to enjoy it. So he kind of grinned at me, and I'm reading away, the Hobbit, and then we hear it. Here it comes. Big, heavy, bipedal footsteps. I think he circled us once and was coming around back to where the ceremonies were. And he what he did is he grabbed the instep trailer and he was twisting it. And I mean, the trailer's going like that. And he was ripping down that metal and ripping it. And that guy, that Montana Mountain Man, he's taking care of business. Well, either these bullets went through it or his breastplate. I know other werewolves and dogmen, so their breastplate's real thick, y'all. And so, anyway, I don't know if that was it, or we know that he was physical because he could rock the trailer. Well, he just paused for a second. And he went down like that, and he looked in like that, like I got you, like so anyway, oh boy, ran out, got his 1971 Ford pickup, which any of you know what they look like. This is old truck. We jump in it, and we're taking off. Well, my son's blanket, and it has a security blanket. So anyway, we had to go back. We had to go back. So we're going back. And I said, I ain't getting out. No. And we pull up right where he can jump out right in and grab that. He goes, hey, Luce, you got to see this. And I said, look, I'm like, no, see. And that fruit cocktail had been eaten and put in the middle of my son's blanket. And it smelled my son's blanket. It got all of our scents. So right now, that happened in Indian summer, which is like around time. We know he's bipedal. We know that I see him from here, from like his chest to almost his hips. I didn't get to see his legs yet, but the next thing I have to tell you is I get to see his legs. Okay, so anyway, that's about it. We got it, and I went right back to York Springs, touring at the President Hotel. All right, next one. It's winter time, like a winter wonderland, and it was just gorgeous. And I talked about this one part way in the other interview with Witness Comes Forward with Girl Scout members. Anyway, me and my friend were cruising down and go down by Camp Scott, turn the corner where G. Leroy Hart lived, and you go on in the back fence of the Camp Scott. All right, well, we see this huge. I ain't kidding you. This thing, even at that trailer, you couldn't see his head. So he had to be at least, trailers are off the ground. You're 9, 10, count the head. Yeah, that's anyway. We seen this going across the field to like bipedal straight, not curved in like a dog bin. I don't like that name, but it not curved like that. You're not curved like what people call like the WWs. And my aware people that I've watched since 1993, they don't have crooked legs either. So, but they're all like in breeds and different. Each cryptid has like different like colors and looks on each cryptid. And it's like people and like like dog breeds. You know what I mean? And so I'm watching this. He's going across right in front of us. Okay. And my friend just refurbished his, I call it his Christine mobile, like the car of Stephen King, that Stephen King made of Christine. That's about what kind of car we're in. Okay. Well, we're cruising with that, and I see this big hump, and I'm not kidding you guys. It reminded me of, I thought it was a giant boulder, but it reminded me almost of a Volkswagen Bug hump. And we cruise to it. And about the time I say, there ain't no boulders down here. And we're not in Colorado. And about that time, that thing lunged. And I went, ah! That went forward. My face went back. My face went back. And my face and that thing were like this. And I almost broke the window out. If I broke the window out, I'd be dead unalive right now. So anyway, when I went like that, what I seen is this. I seen the canine teeth. He don't have the squared up teeth like Bigfoots do. He might maybe at the front. I don't care. I was busy looking at the regular, and he does. He has amber eyes, just like all the wolf people I've seen. And I raised wolves and had amber colored eyes. His head was huge. I mean, huge. It's really weird. It's like a big Bigfoot with a huge canine wolf head or something on it, like a werewolf movie. And I have no idea about any ears. I wasn't paying no attention about no goddamn ears. All I know is
Right.
this. Yeah, yeah. All I know is this: is his mouth was big enough to crush my skull. All right, well, my friend Marty, he's gassing it like, all right, we're on snow back roads. All right, we go to my friend's house, and I'm gonna go back to Eureka Springs. And anyway, this here's a bad deal. So if anybody's in here, they need to leave if they're real queasy. Anyway, come back in, and I'm calling out saying, "Hey, were you here?" And I go in the living room. "Hey, where you at?" And I'm calling his name. No answer. Then the guy that had been riding around with that night, he rolled over. He was in the couch. He goes, "Don't you know?" And I go, "Don't I know what?" He goes, "Don't you know?" And I go, "What?" And he goes, "He's dead. They found him dead, upside down in a shower, blood all over the place." So it didn't have water trickling. He wasn't taking a freaking shower. Um, all I can think of was that thing. It was either on a mission to go to him all along, and I got involved in the middle, or it followed me to him. But there's a catch to this. Um, Now, his big brother ran with my dreaded uncle and does the ceremonies. And get this, his brother also has a dead son, like my uncle who sacrificed baby Aaron. And y'all can go to Hogan Cemetery anytime you like, Locust Grove, and look it up. You'll see a double heart headstone, and you'll see where my dad, my dreaded uncle, my Nana Papa, and baby Aaron's buried right there. And he stayed with me, but I love that little boy to death. I loved him. I feel so bad, but I gave him up my burial plot. I gave my burial plot to that little boy, so I can't get buried by my family now, so I don't have a burial plot. So if anybody wants to check that out, more than welcome. Go for it. All right, so we've got, he comes out in the fall. He's got a real thick breast, like he's got black hair. He's black. Now our Bigfoots up here are red brown. Okay, all the ones I've seen around here. So he's black. His head's abnormal big. We know he's bipedal, but with Bigfoot legs straight. They're huge around. We know that he is a predator. We know the his teeth and how he circled and how he waited. And we know that them little girls. Now, Cornbread did a lot of research on this. Those killings did not happen just by humans. Okay, this thing had been called up, conjured up. I don't know, but it definitely comes into reality. It can unalive you, so it gets really serious. Okay, so we know that it comes out in the winter. So we already got this, all that information. All right, next time. This next one's gonna be the last one I'm gonna share. And the last one, I'm going to dedicate what happened, the last part that happened to my dad, and then I'll take questions, okay? All right, so next thing. I had been married and I've been in an oil field, and oh, you wouldn't believe what all we see. Oh my God. You wouldn't believe all the stuff we see. And you got to understand, all this time, things are going on with me all the time. And I'm just telling you guys the Google thing. So anyway, my extended family, which they have a ranch. They had, Daddy and us had been blessing our property, and that's when I first got acquainted very quick with the wolf people, and well, y'all got werewolf, whatever. Not the pointy dog men. Now dog men are pointy like a German Shepherd, and they got some that looked like a black, like Anubis. But what I got to see in 1993, and for till then to this day, to 93 till this day, right now as I speak, I've got to see some WWs, and I've seen offspring, and more than once, twice. and I seen a female one. Out of all the years I've been doing this, 51 years. So if I was 10 years old and I've been doing this 51 years, yeah, that's right. I'm sweet 16 and never been kissed. No, I'm 61. So anyway, I had to lighten it up a little bit. Okay. So anyway, alrighty. So we're coming where they want to go swimming. Oh, we want to go swimming. We want to go swimming. Well, us seniors, we like to swim in creeks. So they wanted to go, and I know anybody from Log Scrub, if you're listening to this or Pegs anywhere, you know where I'm talking about. All right, we go down to Pegs. It's right, Log Scrub, Pegs, and Tuckahoe. We go down this great big, beautiful gravel road. It turns the most beautiful canyon with eagles flying around and just beautiful as you can get. But beauty isn't always what it seems. Sometimes the road with the thorns is the one to go. All right. They kept bugging me. They're about 18, 19, 20, 21, something like that. Them two and their girlfriends. So anyway, they go swimming their stuff, and I'm sitting there and I tell my dreaded ex-husband, I said, we need to go. My hackles are coming up right now. I said, we need to go now. And he knew that. He'd been with me quite a while. So he told them, load up. We're going, come on, bird dogs. Load up like a bird dog. Just get her done. So anyway, load them up. Head down to where I had a trailer down on the lake. If you go all the way down, I know it sounds funny, Earbob Road to Big Hollow. I know, Earbob, Earring. I know. You know, we could make this up because of that name right there, I swear. So anyway, go all the way down, and I had the trailer there because I was going to build my 8-frame house up on this hill where I'd got my cousin has a big old ranch there. I got two cousins that have big ranches there. Once on Nilly Mountain, that's where my cousin Jimmy Breedlove and the people that unalived the Girl Scouts, that's where they first went. Well, anyway, that cousin there's where I bought the land from, and I had a panoramic view. I money and wolves. That's wolf trading instead of horse trading. So anyway, we went to where I told you at. Okay, now my female wolf. That wolf was bad to the bone. And I told them I had that brand new suede furniture. I just had to have it when it first came out, my micro suede. And we had a sofa and a love seat. Well, she had third part of the love seat. And I told anybody, if they sit near that part, do not make fast movements and don't look at her. Just look ahead and that. Well, anyway, I kept looking in there. Gypsy wasn't there. And I'm like, where's Gypsy at? She's not in the spot. She was on the floor. That wolf had never been on the floor. She don't do that. And we hardly ever have company because we're gone on the oil rigs all the time. So we're not used to even having company. But anyway, here it comes right around the corner. Right there, standing right there by my, them old crank out windows, my trailers, they crank out. All right.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had them up because, okay. All right. Guess what I get here? The Google. And it reverberates through your bones, through your freaking chest, through your ribs. And them kids, I call them kids, they're all like, oh my God, because they were used to doing stuff with me too, going out on cryptid and helping bless. But they were all used, we were very tight knit, and word of mouth. And we've done it for years. Like I said, we have done that for years and years and years. So anyway, it sounded like here's what's funny, a razorback lion wolf. A razorback lion wolf. You know how them razorbacks will growl, kind of like when they're oinking at you the other night. Yeah, that low oink, but they growl. They also growl. Yeah. So
I'm not going to oink for you.
Yeah. So anyway, we were waiting it out, and I figured, great, it's after me. What am I going to do? I don't know nothing to stop it. Electricity, a flamethrower, stuff you'd never have handy. And if you had handy, you'd never even see it coming. He could lop your head off like that. So they leave and go. Now listen to me, guys, and anybody that's around there. We go past Four Corners to Highway 82, go up to Pegs, to the Peg store, make a left. And them trailers right there, and big oak trees that have been there for years, shade trees, okay? Big ones, not little, big. All right, well, I'm waiting. I'm just sitting there waiting to be ate alive, I guess. Well, anyway, phone rings. And back then we had cell phones, but before that, no cell phones. So they're help us. I'm not thinking they know better than to do that. And then I heard crunch, and they're screaming, bloody murder, and he's crunching up. He was crunching up. He crunched a real trailer, the trailers you live in, a good one. He crunched it all the way down, popped the windows out of the living room. I'm hearing glass go everywhere. I'm hearing him scream. I'm hearing him pushing that tree down there. They're looking, and I'm like, does it have it? I go, does it have a snout and does it have a tail? And I'll go, man, I'd slap myself and go, man, I need to get there. Screw it. So anyway, boom, I get there. About the time I get there, and his mom and dad that we did the cryptid stuff together. We're there, and you would not believe it. They had to end up climbing out through a window that had been busted out, climbing out that had scrapes on them and everything. Yeah. So anyway, I think I'll say one goodbye to my dad here in a second. I don't know how he follows. I don't know. I do know they have portals. I do know because my Uncle Circle and the Camp Scott. So I do know they have that, but I just wonder if they what it just bugs me. But anyway, last thing I want to say is these people wanted me and my father to bless their land and to run off demons. Okay, so well, their land was about a mile this way and a mile that way. I'm like talking to my dad, like, God dang, Dad, I don't know how we're going to get every deal on this. He goes, I'm busy fighting fallen angels. And I said, of course, Nephilim bleed blood. And that's in Genesis, guys. If anybody wants to look Nephilim up, where the fallen angels bred with the women, and they made giants and strange things. It's in Genesis in the Bible. So anyway, their kid had opened up a Hell's Gate, and for real, he really was a type of person that bows down to Satan and bows down to him. And I couldn't believe it. I knew Wicca witches, and shamans, but never had I ever dealt with something like this. So I had him run me around a little bit so I could learn their signs and how to read them. You got to learn your enemy. You got to learn the enemy, man. Okay, so he would open them back up after my dad would get them closed, and they would. I told him, I said, man, demons come about sevenfold. And he goes, yeah, I know. Okay, well, Steely Ray, my son, was having a birthday party, and they were roasting weenies and roasting marshmallows. And my dad made Steely a homemade birthday cake chocolate. And if anybody ever been to Madison Park, down by Mount Scott, down by the parallel forest, down by Mears where I lived, that's Lawton Forest Hill, you'll know what I'm talking about. Old plantation. My dad used to get up and make biscuits with Granny. Great, man, great catfish, great fish. If you ever all get down there. But anyway, very last thing my dad will ever have done in his life would be make that chocolate birthday cake. And the kids come in screaming. There was shots being fired. There's like roar growl things. You could tell stuff was all getting tore up. And I get my SKS with Russian hollow points, and I run. You know how hard it is to run the woods with SKS? I bet you do, cornbread. I ran with that to my dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got to my daddy, and he was dying, and I got to him and held him, and we got to exchange few things, and he died in my arms. He was my only parent, my best friend, my mentor. He did all the cryptid stuff with me, and I miss him forever and ever and ever. But I just wanted people to know that if they go after that thing, he's not only dangerous, he's deadly. He kills. And I hope people get something out of this. And the birthday party was also that summer. That when the right after that he attacked my extended family had crawl out. He went and then they all skinwalkers and that attacked my dad, and that's all over from my dad trying to get the people from the um, Locust Grove Girl Scout murders. He tried to get them, and when he bit my daddy was the one that got bit. If cornbread ever talks about somebody getting bit, that's my dad. He got bit, non-human bite, and it would fester up. It never would heal. And I used to tease him, Dad, you're gonna turn into a werewolf. But my dreaded uncle is the one that bit him. So anyway, he was a good guy to the end and gave his life for this. And I will do this till the day I die. It's in my blood. It's in my DNA. I've already warded off generational curses. And I don't know if it's vibration, dimensions. And I've gone out, and I get this, guys, with 4 people, okay? 2 over here see Bigfoot, right? And these 2 don't. Okay, we'll switch sides. The same 2 can't see Bigfoot, but the other same 2 can. So what's really weird is a lot of people, certain people can't see stuff. And some of us, we just kind of get in Oklahoma, is the Grand Central Station, ain't it, of the cryptids? Because of wildfires, floods, people moving in on their territory, the urban development. And Oklahoma, man, is a very dangerous place to do cryptid boots on. And cornbread here, when he goes out there by himself, you to know, hey, he is putting his life on the line for you guys and himself. And Jessie, same way. She goes out there, she's risking her life also. And down here in Oklahoma, Jessie, you will love it. You'll never be bored. But anyway, that's all I got to say, guys. And I just wanted to say hi to everyone. I can't read anything because I don't have my glasses, and I didn't have my cool rose-colored glasses. I'm not going to wear these thick granny glasses. But I'll go back and read stuff later. But anyway, that's what I'm going to let you all know. And just remember, things were going on all the time with me with other cryptids. I was just telling you the good things that happened. And I'm never telling them again. This is one and done. Bam. That's it. It'll never be done. This is in my book. And just whenever I want to get it published, I keep add stuff. It's going to be a goddamn series. Lasts a year. But anyway, cornbread knows how hard it is to do stuff and write books. It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been working on my granny's book for a while. Is what I wanted to ask you though. I know that you finished your stuff, but you know me, the investigator part of me. I have some questions that are burning a hole in me right now, and I was wondering if I could ask you some questions. And if it's something you don't want to answer or something you don't want to go into, just say I would rather not talk about it.
If it's about my father, don't even ask me.
Okay, not going to be about your father.
Okay. Thank you for respecting me, guys. Thanks for you guys respecting me. I mean, everybody on chat and everything. Thank you very much for being there for me, guys. So far away, cornbread. You keep going in and out.
The only question. The only question I really have that may allude a little bit to your father, and if you want to talk about this, do it. If you don't. Could you go into more about the circle and the bite mark that was received, and what they said about it, and how they said that it wasn't human?
Yeah. This is right directly after the Girl Scouts had been, I'm going to say it, murdered. I guess I can say it because it's all over the internet anyway. And I had been right across the creek. I mean, it's like, I'm across the creek, there over there. That's how close I was, all right? And Daddy had come got me and got me back to the main house of my Nana and Papa safely. And he went back to my uncle to try to round up the people he knew, the exact people that hands on did it, but they didn't do it just hand on. They mutilated them little girls. The sheriff department lied. Gene Leroy didn't have nothing to do with it. That he was a fall guy, and there was something there that was not human. Anyway, my dad went, and my uncle was having one of his. I guess they were winding down from their little sacrifice they just had. They're winding down, and he was still in his form. And the woman, Michael, which never, we don't talk about her. Remember the deal? We don't talk about the
I
woman
drove
that.
right. I drove right by her house today.
Oh, woo! All right. Well, the woman that was there with him, she is done a lot of wolf hawking, and it's OAXACA. And look up vampire witches and look up and do the research. This, anyways, her and him and the other ones were running out the back. All right, my daddy was wrestling. My dad was a little Indian guy, man. He's little. My uncle was. My uncle, nobody could whoop him. You know what I mean? So I don't know how my dad lived by the grace of God, but yeah, he had to guard him like that. And when he bit him, he bit two of the bone. My daddy went back to we had a vet shop at our place. Okay, well, we called in a doctor, our own private doctor, get in there, and we were trying to get it fixed up, stitched up, and everything, and it was a non-human bite. It was even hard for the doctor to get it even stitched up. Yeah, non-human. It didn't match anything. And I raised wolves, so we could even put a wolf mouth up to it, and it did not match it. It was bigger than a wolf. That. But anyway, okay. Now after this happened, you got to understand. I had to go back home, Michael, and guess who did stuff back in the pasture? They tormented me until finally my family shipped me off to the military. I'm an Air Force brat, so I'm an Air Force brat. So anyway, that's how that got there, guys.
And whenever he sustained that bite, they were actually in the middle of a ceremony, right? And the gentleman that bit him was in the middle of a transformation, right?
No, he was transformed. That's why the bite. That's why
Okay.
the bite didn't match anything. That's why.
So would you say a shapeshifter? Is that what they would have said?
Yes, I
Yeah,
know
because
it
I
might
know the
sound
shaw.
crazy. It might sound crazy, but this is true.
No, it's not
Yeah, I know
crazy.
this. I know this. The shaman. Remember that I spoke to the shaman up in your area when we dove into the Girl Scout murders, and the shaman. They know Lisa very well. She's very respected in her area. She does a lot of things with a lot of different tribes, the Lakota, the Cherokee, the
Mm-hmm.
Katuo. They do a lot of stuff up there, and whenever they go up there, they I'm not going to go into what they do because some of that is sacred to me and to the people that I come from, and I'm not going to disgrace them by that. But what was going on, to put it in words, and Lisa, you tell me if you agree. There was a person in that circle that was practicing the forbidden magic, right?
Yeah. Any of the Navajos here, any Navajos watching, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Okay, and it's a SKIN Walker, and they usually have to unalive a person that they love or in their family, and that's how they get their powers. And that's just how they say that. But I've seen what with my, I've seen too much.
Right. And the way that they gain their powers is, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa, you know more about it than I do, is the closer the relation to you and the younger, right? The more power you gain.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And them girls, they were what were they,
And that,
Michael? Tell them that how they were bent over. That no a human could do that. The pole. Tell them about that. And the dog that's supposed to be
yeah,
Gene
the
Leroy.
yeah, they're in the reports. There was a lot of agencies. It's been a while since I'd done the investigation, but there was a lot of agencies that was involved in the investigation. You had local, you had federal, and you had state,
Yep.
and every individual from those agencies had documented in their reports of supernatural happenings at that location during their investigations. These are, and again, I reiterate, federal and local and state authorities. These are the best of the best of the investigators that
Mm-hmm.
would be called to a crime scene.
Yep.
And there was so many things. I mean, they were chasing Gene Leroy Hart at one time. They said, which it's arguable who they was chasing. It was definitely chasing a witch doctor at that point,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
shapeshifter. And he
Mm-hmm.
went behind a tree. This is in a federal report. He went behind a tree. 3 officers witnessed a bird fly out from behind the tree,
Yep.
and there was nobody there. And then when they turned around and it headed down the hill, they heard a dog bark, and they turned around, and there was a black dog at the tree that ran off. They were never able to catch that dog, and
Yep.
they say
Yep.
that dog is on that property to this day.
And their dogs mysteriously died. And I used to train dogs myself, and they had them trained now. They had bloodhounds and German shepherds, and two of these dogs died. I mean, one ran out in front of a car. I mean, stuff they don't do,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
they yeah, it's weird the
Um,
whole thing.
I remember that actual report, Lisa. It's coming back to me. I was reading one of the many reports I went through, and they had the special dogs up there they had brought to try to track Gene Leroy Hart. Which
Right?
Gene Leroy Hart, what they didn't know at the time, he was way, way away in another
Yeah,
place
yeah,
in a
yeah,
very, very,
yeah.
very secluded area. But there was a witch doctor walked past the dogs, and he spoke over those dogs, and he smoked them. I don't know if people know what that means. If you're native, you know. But he smoked the
Yep,
dogs,
smoke them.
and
When you smoke,
he
you
said,
curse.
yeah, and he said these dogs will die. Both dogs died before they left that location,
Right, right.
and
It was not
it's fed.
only a locust grove thing, not only Mace County thing, not only Oklahoma thing, not only a nation thing. It was a worldwide thing, huh, Mike? Worldwide. They had TV
It,
cameras, reporters down there. I couldn't even hardly get to school, and the cops kept bugging me. What'd you see, Lisa? What'd you see? And then I had my freaking
right.
crazy ass, excuse me, uncle up there, not messing with me. But they ended up. Oh yeah, the green building with Camp Scott. Oh yeah, it's there. And I never figured that out. It's just to me every time I try to figure this stuff out, Michael, it just gets deeper and deeper in the rabbit hole, don't it?
It does, and what a lot of people don't understand, guys, what she's talking about is only things that we have read about and that we have investigated. She lived it. She still lives in the area. The courthouse was the the natives went to the courthouse, and the courthouse was blessed. This was a
Daddy,
what
my
the
daddy,
natives
my
seen.
daddy was with them. Cornbread. My dad was with them when they were doing
Yep, he
the
was,
courthouse.
and it was the natives saw it at the time as a racial profiling against Gene Leroy Hart, because there was so many different things going on. The sheriff, he had a personal vendetta against him because his wife had had an affair with him.
Unfair.
Uh, but Lisa, the one thing that blows my mind, and I know this has to blow your mind, while I was doing that investigation, I came across something that really, to this day, they had Gene Leroy Hart in jail, right, in town. They
Yeah.
had him captured. He was in jail,
Mm-hmm.
and he laughed at him, and he said,
Mm-hmm.
"Tonight, I will transform and I will escape."
And my hair
Three
standing on
jailers,
end.
mine too, three jailers wrote in the report that I looked at personally and said when they went to check on him after midnight on the full moon, Gene Leroy Hart was gone and the cell
Go.
was locked. The only way out of there was to go past the deputies, and he never walked past them. To this
Right.
day, they will not release the report, the full report on that as to
They
what
won't.
happened because
They
it's
won't. Well, they're
supernatural.
crooked. That whole deal was they were all crooked, and it ended up being like white men against the native. Instead of worrying about the poor little girls and their families, they were too busy. White men's wanting power and native and fighting them, and them poor families. God dang, it's like their little girls were just kind of pushed to the side, and it's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible thing that happened, and it doesn't stop. This is going on to this day. It goes on. There's things happen down there to this day.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to put this with an alleged and as my opinion and my theory. And I'm going to say that one of the camp workers knew what was going to
Yes.
happen, and I believe those three little girls were predestined for a
They
ritual.
were.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, they did. They needed three. They found that letter, and that one woman was working with them. The ones that do the kill, and she was in on it. She ended up taking a shower or something, and they had a bloody towel or something there, and she wouldn't get up, and she was acting like,
Right.
oh God, and then she goes,
Right.
one of them goes, oh, I heard screams and snorts like a hog or like a they didn't know what, and I mean, if you hear little kids screaming and you're freaking counselor, go out in them freaking woods and go get them. God dang it, it's just sitting there on your rear end. They were involved. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
the counselor's report said we heard the little girls screaming,
Yeah.
yelling, and crying for help. So you know what they done? They went back to bed because they
Yeah,
said that they thought they were just scared of the storms, but then they go back and say we heard something out there that was making unhuman noises
right.
in the woods.
Unhuman. Gotcha. You better believe it.
So and
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 like
you know,
how my uncle got killed, that mysterious car wreck, you know.
yeah,
And my uncle, he had,
that's
he did the baby thing and dancing waters and held him up with all his little circle of witches, whatever. And I found dancing waters. He wanted to know if he was really born there. I said, yes, honey. Then I told him I was born. And I only told him that, how your daddy was in the Navy, San Francisco, out on the warships. He fought in Vietnam and probably kept going back. He liked to unlock things, so a nut, crazy. But anyways, I told him I didn't want to break that little boy's heart. To me, as a little boy in my mind. But when that happened, my uncle got the family together. He goes, I'm gonna get killed. I'm gonna be murdered. I'm gonna get killed. And sure enough, but he goes, I'm taking my son with me, whether it's from the grave or not. And he was cursing him right then, looking at him like, I'm taking you with me. And I'll be dadgum, he wrecks and he's shredded. Kind of strange. Yeah, kind of strange, ain't it, Mike?
well, I think that whenever me and you looked into that, we found that it looked like that something may have done it because the window was knocked out, and it looked
Right.
like something had came through the window and attacked him inside of his vehicle. And like what Lisa said, this is not like a small car wreck where somebody had passed away. We're talking about mutilation. Pieces
Yeah,
were
body parts.
unattached.
Yeah. Yeah, I went down there with my daddy because I wanted to make sure he's dead. I go, Dad, let me go. And we beat the ambulance, there, and because I wanted to make sure he was gone. You know, the thorn in my side.
Right.
But get this, he was worse after he passed away. I think that demon in him got around to get this, guys. We had an employee come in, had 3 fingers cut off. 3. And we're like, oh my God. And Dad's going to get the fingers on ice. And we go, what happened? And she goes, Tony pushed me. Oh, I said his name. Oh, please, blood Jesus Christ, right now over that. And she swore she's like got 3 fingers cut off. She said he pushed her. Yeah. Well, we gave her a lot of money and stuff like that and helped her get her fingers sewed on. But yeah, I hate to go out there feeding water animals stuff. I was scared to death, guys. So when I had my Montana Mountain Man, I thought, boy, nothing going to happen. And I was wrong. I was very wrong.
Well, whenever somebody takes the building, or I guess I should say the stand that the children were in, and they have that moved to their personal property, something's wrong.
Yeah. Something is very wrong. Yeah, very wrong. And the guy, my friend that got killed, his brother, wink, wink, ran with my uncle and did rituals with my uncle, and he has a dead son too, and he was dead. So how are they doing this? Are they conjuring him up and sicking him off, or what do you think, Mike?
Whenever I spoke to the shaman, that was one of the questions that I asked him, and me and you had talked about it before I went up there, and I asked him, I said, so and what people don't understand is this circle where they were performing these rituals, it was not somewhere else. We're talking, it is right by the Girl Scouts camp.
Oh yeah.
And where they was doing these rituals, I asked him, I said, how does the Gugwe come back? How does it happen? And this is what they told me. The Gugwe lives in the woods already. He's not summoned. He's not like he doesn't materialize.
Okay.
So when they do the ritual,
okay,
the Gugwe comes to them, to the circle.
Okay.
Then they place on a no moon night. They place
you're right.
a spirit into that Gugwe. Okay. And they're able to control that Gugwe up until the next full moon. And then
because he acts like he's under a assignment. Like, when he was walking in front of me when he lunged, but it was like we were accidentally in the middle of his assignment. Like his assignment was actually to go unalive my friend. Like they call him up, like, and they go like, "Ooh, you're gonna go here." And that's what he was walking like. That's why I noticed the 2 burly Bigfoot legs. Yeah, that's why I noticed it so much. Like, dang, man, that thing's like on a mission. And I guess we got in the way, and he knew me. He knows me to say it. I don't ever want to see that thing as long as I live, and I don't want to see a crawler when I'm out in the woods. What about you, Jesse? You want to run into a crawler? No.
That's the last thing I want to run into. No way.
You, cornbread.
They said that they thought I did the other night, and Candy Wolf had a question. Candy Wolf, I'm going to do the best I can to answer your question without getting myself in trouble. Candy Wolf said, how does these unalived girls, how is it kept quiet? Okay, so the Wolf Lady knows how deep I investigated this. I put a lot of time into it. I mean, I hit this hard.
Months.
Yeah, I went deep. And I found out
people did this. We had people trying to curse us, put spells on us. For real, this really happened. And it was people that might have been working with him. And his roof blew off. And I had an iPad shatter. And I mean, weird. I told him, man, this whole thing's cursed. But we really did have people trying to knock us down, didn't we? And hey, Michael was getting it done.
I was threatened many times to stop doing what I was doing. But whenever I looked into it and I followed the money, who owned Camp Scott, what Camp Scott was connected to, which I cannot say right now.
Magic Empire.
And
The Magic Empire.
Yeah, yeah, and who owns the Magic Empire?
Hmm. I know. And I got an uncle that's
Yeah,
33 degree, and he's good
yeah,
now. He's good.
you're right,
Mhm. And he's in heaven. I hope. I hope.
right,
What he was involved in, I don't know anymore because it kind of sounds like they're into Satanism too. And when they get to the core of them, but he was a 33 degree for years and years and years. He was good to me. He's my good uncle. But I know
right,
exactly what you're talking about.
and bonfires are derived from what they call a bone fire.
Okay, yeah.
So we found that out, and so some other weird things that we I guess we could go a little bit in. I'm not going to go far into it, but there was a supernatural aspect to what happened that was not brought out to the public. And I'm not telling you about like people looking from the outside making up things and saying that this is supernatural. I'm talking about documented federal, state, and local agencies on legal reports that were filed, okay, that they witnessed supernatural events they could not explain.
Mm-hmm.
And after it was over, local, state, and federal employees unalived themselves, and so many of them went missing that were never found.
That's right. He's telling the truth. And how many of them left? Would not go back? A whole bunch. Remember, a whole bunch
Mhm.
said they'd never go back ever. And that was the ones that was
Right.
OSBI or the best of the best. That's how bad it spooked them. So can you imagine me as a young girl? I was going to be 13 in September, and it happened June 13th, 77.
Right. Well, Candy Wolf asked again, Mike, why isn't the tribal authority doing more? I'll answer that. Not in. I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to respect my tribe. And what I'm going to tell you is the reason that it's no longer looked at is because it is a closed case. Gene Leroy Hart, by the law, right or wrong, was found guilty of that murder. His peers had their, he was judged by a jury of his peers, and by
He got off.
the
He
natives.
got off it. Yeah, he did.
Right. Yeah, he got off of the murders. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
sentenced to prison for another crime, but
yeah, for another thing. They're gonna get him no matter what.
but they according to their report, they took his magic whenever he was arrested. They took his power. He was tapped on the foot 3 times by uh, a medicine man, and he said he
Like
took his
don't say it.
power. I know. I'm not going to say the name. There's a lot of there's a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things we don't say out of tradition and respect because the natives don't say certain words. But he was tapped on his foot 3 times. His power was removed, and he went to prison, guys. And he wasn't there very long before he passed away
Yeah,
in the court.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, you know, we. I think what people need to look at, and I think this may help you all. Native Americans are still traditional in their
Mm-hmm.
courts and in their police and on our lands. They don't go by what the state would do. It's
Yeah,
tradition. It's
all right.
traditional. They are very, strong in their traditions. Thank God they are, because that
Thank God.
that yeah, that's our people. That is our culture where we came from. And yeah, I was, and I told Jesse about this, and you'll probably laugh at this, Wolf Lady. I was corrected the other day by a full blood Indian, and I was at the Cherokee Nation, and we were talking, and I said, I love my culture. I love who I am. And he looked at me and he goes, it's not a culture. And I was like, what? He said, it's a sovereignty. We're not a culture. We're a
What did he say it was?
sovereignty.
What did he
We're
say?
a sovereignty.
Yeah. Okay.
We are our own nation.
Yeah,
You
we're
know,
all on
and
Indian land. You're on Indian land too, aren't you? Where I'm on Indian
Yes,
land right
ma'am.
now. I'm on an ancient game trail between two lakes connected by a river. All I got to do is make a few steps and I'd be in the water. And I got crystal running streams, caves, all that. And that is another reason why I have so much stuff going on here. They come up. I think Michael, they've been coming up out of the freaking water. That
Yep.
flood, man, is bringing on that. That night that you
Well,
saw the female Bigfoot, I got hold of Jessie and got her on phone because I was going, Jessie, you'd never believe a girl came screaming after and was all I do is see a girl screaming, and I'm like, I grabbed her in the death grip and a stranglehold, and I go, don't run, don't run, don't run. I said, girl, don't run. And I go, quit that goddamn screaming. And she goes, they're there. And they were coming up. But that was the ones I think I know. But the thing, when I went over to my building and I tried to watch her go home up on the hill, because she's one of the kids' girlfriends, it's between us and land, and they own land, and all their kids, have. But anyway, I went by my building, I kept looking, and by my wolf pens, I was going to go to the back gate. I stopped because that grass got high. I stopped, Michael, and you were having your thing going on, and I was having my thing going on, and I felt like if I took one step, that would be the end of me. So I went around the corner of the building, and I'm heavy set, and I go up against that freaking building like this, and like that, and I'm trying to hold the phone to record this stuff, and I'm like, I close my eyes, they can't see me. And I thought, oh my
right.
God, because I used to get on top of the building. And I thought, oh my God, they might get me from up top. And then under bottom it's on blocks. And I thought, oh my God, they're gonna get me from bottom and top. And boy, I got my ass home. I went home, I locked up. Screw it. And that was a wild night, wasn't it? That was the night that the female Bigfoot was at Cornbread's car. The same night.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
we predicted, didn't we? We
That
said
was a
it's going
while.
to be a night, didn't we? We knew
Yeah.
it. We
Yeah, we
knew it.
did.
Felt it.
It was a night. It was definitely a night. The Wolf Lady, I have had you on here for an hour and a half, and I'm going to let you have the floor before we close this down, and I want you to say whatever you want to say. The floor is yours.
Really, I've said about everything. I'm going to say all I want to do is let audience know that do the boots on research. Know your environment. Know your environment always, and know what you're really hunting for or researching. And uh, when you're out there and you run into the WWs, the big ones, not the dog men run in packs. They're dangerous, but the rogue ones are pretty dangerous. The Nubis ones, this lady called, and all she could do is say he's black and he's male. Jesse, that's all she could do. He was black Anubis, and we went from her. She goes, he's black, and I go, and she goes, he's a male, and I'm like, what? But anyway, I'm talking about the WWs. If y'all ever do run into them, listen to me, please. Don't ever lock eyes with something long, because I learned from my wolves and from my wolves watching the WWs. I learned how to read them, but and don't lock eyes, and do not turn your back on them. Back out, back out. Try not to move around a lot. No fast movements, because movement in the woods can get you killed. Just like if we're hunting, if I'm hunting, that's usually how I see things. Don't you, comrade? By movement, movement will blow. But anyway, just don't have fast moves. Don't go yell and all that. Just back on it, and then when you can turn around, get the hell out. Yeah. But no, and I want to thank everyone here. I never could read anything because I don't have my glasses on, and I thank all y'all for backing me. And like I said, this is exclusive to the Abnormal Family Channel, and no one else. I don't care if they beg, steal, or borrow will ever get me to do diddly squat. And anyway, I hope you guys uh, done the true nature of what we do when we're out there and how dangerous it really is. And I'll never stop. Yeah, I won't till the day I die. And at least if something happened to me, I'd die happy about what I'm doing. But anyway, I want to thank y'all and bless y'all and Cornbread and Jesse. I bless you guys too. And that's really all I got to say. I can't read. I could never read anything to say hi to anybody. So just hi everybody. Can I go back later and watch
Well, we
this and find
appreciate
out
you coming on.
the chat?
Yeah, you will be able to.
Okay.
Yes. And we appreciate you coming on. Everything you've done, everything you've shared. God bless your dad.
Thank you.
God bless you, your family, and you have people here that love you, care about you, and we're happy to see you every time you're in chat. And it means a lot to us. It really does.
It does with all my heart.
All of our heart too. And
Aw.
you'll always be an abnormal family member. You will always be.
I'm just an old man, a wolf.
All right, Lisa, I'm going to let
Sweet
you go get some
16 and
rest.
never been
Thank you so.
kissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ornery. He knows I'm ornery. All right. Love you guys.
All right.
Right.
Love you too. Good night.
Night.
Guys, I have something else I want to show you. I have a short video I want to show you all real quick before we jump out of here and get your opinions on it. I found it today and was wondering, but I'm going to tell you right now. She has been through more than most people could ever imagine. I know we didn't go into it, but she could write a book called I Lived with the Killer, and it would be the truth. Just to give you all an idea of what she's been through. She's been through enough to give anybody PTSD. Anybody. She's a very strong lady to be able to do what she does after what she's been through. So thank you very much, Lisa, again, for sharing and being so strong and coming on here. Now, I seen this the other day, and I want you to tell me what you think. What is this? What do you think this actually is?
That looks like a electrical plasma ball to me. Whatever they call like
Random ball of lightning?
Well, it's not necessarily a random ball of lightning. I mean, it looks like it had been raining, maybe a storm. So, I mean, I have seen other images and videos where they've had actually balls of lightning combining and joining. I think I remember seeing one over like railroad tracks, and it was zapping the tracks as it was going along too. It was like following the tracks. I mean, I've seen. What was that? Sorry, it's not Tyler's comment. But I have seen like plasma lightning balls before, like that in real life, like in real time. I have not, but I have seen, even going back further before, like AI imaging and stuff like that. So that large, no. So could it be something else? I don't know. Maybe. Normally the lightning balls, or the plasma balls, what they call them, are a lot smaller. I've never seen anything that big, but I have seen it where it looks almost like it's walking, because it's hitting the ground and dispersing as it's walking, but as it's going along. But yeah, it's definitely weird. So
it just looks so unnatural.
Yeah,
it looks unnatural to me. It just looks to me like something that's moving with intelligence.
Well, I think that way about tornadoes too, but that's my own trauma.
I'm not a psychologist. But yeah,
But
I saw that and I was like, man, that's really weird. I want to give everybody a little update real quick. We've been going over the video by the vehicle guys, and some people have sent some photographs in to where one of them actually looks like a demon with wings. And
well,
I'll
to
probably
be
put it
clear,
all together, put it on a Patreon, probably.
though, that wasn't the image by the truck. That was in the same night, but that was something else.
Yeah, it was one of the fog that he came through. They
Mm-hmm.
said the nighttime temperature on that was 62 degrees. I documented that. Uh, it's really weird looking. The figure by the vehicle has been slowed down, and frame by frame, we're looking at it, studying it, and it appears that whatever was by the vehicle was at one point not wearing a shirt and was in a canine state, and went from a canine state to approaching the front of the vehicle to a t-shirt, and then as it passed in front of the vehicle and was exiting the frame of the video was more human by man, I hate to say bipedal, with a still a hunch in the back. Now, looking at it from a normal perspective, my report would have to say somebody inconclusive. If
Mm-hmm.
you look at it as a cryptid report, you would say probably there was the possibility of a shapeshifter was there that night. Was it? I don't know. We're still looking at it. Was it strange? Very strange. You
Mm-hmm.
look at it frame by frame, it gets even stranger because you start seeing a snout. You see ears. One of the things I had noticed, and I told Jesse about it. She's seen it today. Finally, is the eyes have black around them. It looked like a coon's eyes to me, and I told her, I said, "Do you see that?" And today she saw it, and it does appear to have black eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But the weird thing is parts of that video though. Oh, and the lion's mane. The lion's
Yeah.
mane. There's a part in the clips where it actually has what looks like a lion's mane as it's transforming.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to look at it more in depth, guys. We'll probably release something on Patreon about it. The zoomed in frame by frame. We did a Patreon drop about a week ago now on a video that we could not drop normally because of the content of the video. And let me tell you, everybody in Patreon is loving it. I have got emails saying, wow, you know, that's amazing. That's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
BS.
I think she meant
Sabrina's.
because.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, she may not have been. Yeah, Sabrina, I was talking about the ones you had sent in. And also, there was another person now that has sent in some photographs. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, what? But yeah, I call it bullshit. But no, we was going and what Sabrina sent in. Sabrina, since you're in the chat, and let you use your fingers a little bit more real quick. How would you describe what you've seen while you done that? Because you're going to be an outside source. You're going to be more reputable than me or Jesse saying it, because me and Jesse's going to be attacked and picked apart. You have never spoke to me before. I don't know you personally. What did you see whenever you done the pictures? Your honest opinion. What did you see in front of the
Mm-hmm.
vehicle? What was your opinion on that?
Carolyn, you can send your pictures in too. That's fine.
Absolutely. You can ask Jesse. I love looking at the pictures because I'm going to send them to everybody when I get them. That's usually what I to my team anyway. I'll wait till
Mm-hmm.
3 in the morning and then I'll start sending them out.
Yeah. Yep. Sure does.
I do most of my work at 3 a.m.
Easter bunny that was looking at you the whole time and it morphed into something that had wings. Oh, so could that hunched back thing actually been wings?
Okay. So, Sabrina, I have another question for you. We're going to make you famous tonight, Sabrina. Can I send you a link, Sabrina? Would you come on? Would you come on the show? Do you feel like coming on the show if I send you a link?
You know you can't dump that on a person like
I'm
last
putting
minute.
her on
Like,
the spot really bad.
woohoo! It's her this
Uh,
time and not me.
Sabrina, it's like Sabrina, would you like to come on the show? Because I would really like the perspective of somebody that wasn't there, that is not influenced or allegedly, manipulated by us, because we know who the manipulators are.
Mhm.
That's right, AI Nanny. You send them all night long. You send me pictures anytime. Especially AI Mod. She can do it whenever she wants to. She does it
No,
perfect.
no. Nanny says you send the pictures all night long. You don't wait till 3 a.m. Yeah, you can
I
do
was
your
waiting to
voice
see what
only,
Sabrina.
Sabrina. That's fine. Yeah,
Oh
you don't
yeah,
have to show your face.
yeah. You don't have to show your face. I just like to scare people because this is a cryptid channel. That's why I show my face. Let's see. We need to send her a link in chat, right?
Yeah, you got it. Otherwise, I can get it.
You have it. If you can get it faster than me, I'll let you grab it, or I have to go find it. I can't do everything. Even I'm gonna be good. I totally refrain. I'm.
Got it. Right on top of that,
Let,
Rose.
why? Thank you, Jimmy. Got
So
Sabrina
there's the
again.
link.
Jump.
Put it in there for you.
There's the link, Sabrina. That's right, Roman. She does. She rocks. She came right on.
Christy, if I can do it on a weekly, Sabrina, you got this. Ooh, cover.
Is the Wolf Lady in chat, or did she probably wore out? She probably wore herself out. I probably
I
wore her
would.
out, asking her question after question.
Yeah, she was on a roll tonight, though. She did very well.
She has a lot of information. A lot of information.
Hmm.
All right,
Hmm.
guys. Sabrina's here, so I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. Sabrina, you are coming on. Just so you know, I didn't want to throw you on without telling you. I just do that to Jesse.
All right, Sabrina, can you hear us?
Can you hear me, Sabrina?
Yes, but I have a it's playing double.
Oh,
Uh oh.
so you'll actually want to either close YouTube or mute YouTube.
Oh, I closed it.
Okay. Mm,
So Sabrina, on the first photos that you done, I had a question whenever you had said that we would be forever typing it out. So one of the questions I was going to ask you is, you said the thing in the vehicle had wings. Is those things that has the wings, is that the same thing at the vehicle, or is that two separate entities at two separate places?
It when you live stream, it appeared to be one thing.
Oh
That
wow. So that is,
separate screenshots, and they were all within a second.
oh
It
my
oh,
was
God.
very fast.
So the creature that appeared to have the wings, was that actually taken at the car also? Is that what that is?
Yes, that was that same Easter bunny thing or whatever I call it. Whatever had the things on the top of the head that looked like it had ears or antlers or
Yeah.
something. That was the same thing. But in that other photo, it no longer had anything on the top of its head. but it looked like it had wings.
That
And
yeah,
then it
that
was
puts a
gone.
whole
And then it
different
was like
perspective
gone.
on it.
And then after it, I
That
don't know if you
really,
noticed the blank photo. There was like to me, it looked like an image of like a whole big something standing there.
See, I thought those were the
yeah,
missed photos. I didn't
No,
realize those were the.
that was all one time stamp right there. All four,
Oh,
all
oh wow,
14 photos was one time stamp. Maybe like 1 second and then the next second, but it was not like far apart.
interesting. Okay.
that puts a whole different. Okay, yeah, I'm leaning
That's why it was
now
called
that that
BS.
is yeah, that yeah, that puts a whole different perspective on those photos now because there was a whole lot going on in that short amount of time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, I really don't even know what to say because with those photos, I mean, you've got something that appears to be angelic with wings, and you got something that appears to be canine. You got something that's bipedal, appearing to be human. Then you have something that, see, I noticed, Sabrina, I don't know if you noticed this, but whenever it walked off from in front of the vehicle and before it went out of the frame, did you notice how weird it was swinging its arms, how they were like bent backwards?
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's a couple of pictures where it's like transitioning and it appears like that's all there is just those bent backwards arms, kind of ish. I don't know. There was like somewhere in the middle, like maybe number 7, 8, 9. I can't remember.
Wow.
But
What in the world?
and you say I've got these, but no, cornbread, you've got them. This is your video.
That that's what I'm starting to think. I'm scaring myself now. I'm like, what in the hell was what was out there? I mean, I
All
saw
I
the
did is use
face,
my phone and screenshot.
Wow. Yeah, because I mean, I saw the face looking at me through the trees, and honestly, I thought whenever I approached it, what I thought was going to happen as I was going to approach it, and there would have been an explanation for what I was seeing. I was thinking, but whenever I start walking up to it, the face goes back behind the trees. It moves, and then it's gone. And I'm like, oh my god, that was a face. You know, and
Yes,
from
I
I
saw that for
was
sure.
you
I'm
able to look at?
sorry. I'm not used to this being on with the delay on the with the delay for chat and stuff. But I'm
Mm,
sorry I
Right.
keep interrupting you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's a pain in the neck. The delay. It takes time. So
yeah.
you so you saw the face. What did
I
how good did you see it?
I saw it very well. I'm trying to go back through the live to find it again so I could do the screenshots of that, but I'm having trouble finding the timestamp of when it was. I know it was in the beginning, but I just don't know how far in the beginning.
Seeing it was right after that is whenever I really started feeling like I was being followed.
Okay.
It was I don't know how to explain it. You know how like when you're out somewhere and you just feel like something's watching you or something's following you or it's
Yeah,
just that
well,
feeling of unease.
yep, you called it too. You that whole time back to your vehicle, you were saying, "I feel like I'm being followed. I feel like I'm being followed." And
Right.
you were saying, I think you said you heard footsteps or something.
That's what I kept and the limb breaks. I was like and there for a while it's like it wasn't being noisy. It's like it didn't it was like trying to hide. And then it was like whenever I was leaving and I got, up there to like getting close to the vehicle, it's like it said, I don't care if he knows I'm here. And I had planned on visiting with everybody before I got in the vehicle and left, taking questions and all. And I think what we done is we accidentally Scott Carpentered it, is what I call it, because that was his method, and I give him full credit for that. That was his idea. Is I accidentally, because I had the camera pointing toward me, which was reversed, it thought that I was still filming forward, and I think it tried to cross the road to get to the other side, which is kind of scary because it would have been hiding in the tree line where I would have had to enter my vehicle. It went from the passenger side to my driver's side.
Yes, I think personally, I think it wanted to be seen. And I think it probably knows that you had a lot of people on your live stream. That's what I think.
Well, and that's where I questioned it too, because it was almost like Mike was being distracted at the time, because
Yes.
when he turned to look towards away from the vehicle, he had just flipped the camera around to look at himself. So typically that camera would have been pointing away from him. It would have or it wouldn't have realized that it was being recorded. So that's where I'm kind of
I know one thing
wondering if
that
it screwed
sounded
up.
strange was 3 times I remember him saying something about the bug on his back. And he said
Yeah.
it like 3 times. I'm like, dang, that's like number 3. And,
Yeah.
and it was just weird how it worked out like that. And that was the exact time that thing was walking around your truck.
Yeah, it was I call them eye knockers. Most people probably call them June bugs. That's kind of the southern. We call them eye knockers because when you got the light on, they about knock your eyes out. And what happened was when I walked down the road, one went down the side of my shirt I was wearing. I was like trying to get it out and hold the camera up. And then I look back at the screen. Everybody's like, "Go, go, go! Get out of there!" And I'm like, "What the hell happened? I don't see nothing. I've been looking." And I was like, "Did something happen I'm not seeing?" And then all of a sudden everybody's yelling, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then Jesse, I think, typed it was behind you or something, and I was like, "What?"
No, I missed it because Lord only knows if I would have seen that, I probably would have freaked out in real time. I completely missed that. I was either watching in chat or something else and I did not even see it go across the screen. I didn't see it until afterwards when I saw the comments after the live stream ended. And that's when I went back and went, "What?" And I went, "Oh, holy shit," and
It
sent
was
that you to the
hard
video.
to see. It just looked like a shadow, like something crossed in front of the light while we were in the live. When I went back and saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's that's creepy. It was creepy.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still having a hard time with it. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
that was
thing.
all like within 2 seconds of time, I think. But I
So there
think it
was a
was
lot of
1:24:43 or something like that. And it was either 1 second before or after that the whole thing happened.
right. Tim, I normally did, but that had to be used elsewhere because of issues happening at another place. So I had to leave it at another place because somebody has decided to mess around on private property. I'll put it like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, you know, for it to hide by my driver's side door and then been at that one place we went to before the floods and it was shaking my car, it almost makes me wonder, did it go over there to try to come up to the vehicle and look at me? It did it know I was leaving, so it was trying to position itself to hide to God, that really makes you think a lot there.
Like it was coming to hit the truck if you were in it or something.
Yeah, or maybe even come after me because whenever, I lock it, so I have to turn my back to where it would have been to unlock the door.
I'm not-
Yeah. And a, and a lot of times I will do something I should not do. I know I shouldn't do it, but I do it. I have so much equipment on me is I will go to the very back and I will open the hatch. It's a Durango, so it has a hatch on the back. And I'll raise the hatch and I will take my gear off and lay it in the back with my back to the darkness and then close it and then get back inside of the vehicle.
but
So glad I didn't do that night.
you're still got your heater right on your side though, right?
Absolutely, and hanging off my back. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
Hmm.
part of, at least that's the good part. Don't take
yeah.
that off when you're unloading your equipment.
No, I pretty much sleep with it. Um, man, it's got me wondering so many things now, and I'm sure me and Jesse's going to be talking about that tonight because within 2 seconds, that is a whole lot of things going on. I mean, you're talking like how many different transformations within, say, 2 seconds. If it's able to do that within 2 seconds, that's something. We may
And
have
I
to.
didn't, I hadn't even caught them all because when I went back to screenshot some more to get a regular timestamp, because I don't know if you noticed that it said it had a negative number on it, and I don't know why it does that, but I was trying to get the correct number that it actually was, and I couldn't actually get the same shots the second time
Right.
through. Yeah, well, a couple of them I did,
I
but
don't know.
not every single one
Right.
of them.
I don't know if you're subscribed over to my other channel, Wide Open Adventures, but I went out yesterday and I done some filming to kind of show everybody the flood water right now and where I was at because people were saying, "Are you sure somebody didn't come through the woods?" The woods is flooded. The creeks here are out through the woods, and it is swamp. And we seen about a 7-foot rattlesnake. Me and my mom driving around the other day. Um, Nobody is going to be walking, and they would have had to walk a mile through that swamp, flooded creek to even have got to where I'm at. A mile, and I don't believe anybody done that. I mean, they could prove me wrong. I mean, there is some people that's crazy, but I mean, there's so many drop offs and so many ditches and so many things. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but
Only thing is, you
you
had
know,
it on video, so you've got proof of what it was that you
right,
saw,
right.
or that you captured, and
It's just,
that wasn't a human, not at all.
and
It
that's what everybody's
disappeared. I
saying.
mean, it just disappeared after the wing part. It looked like it kind of jumped. I mean, it kind
That
of
is
looked, in my
crazy.
opinion. Yeah, and I want to send you a screenshot of something else. It was possibly what Lady Wolf was saying. WW. It's out of someone else's video, but it's a single shot of what I found in it, and I think it's one of those great big huge wolves thingies that's all black.
Well, now AI Nanny Pam's trying to scare me to death. She's telling me that there was a giant shadow that may have flew over the top of me. So, I mean, the thing did have wings at the car.
It appeared to,
Like a
So,
Mothman.
yeah.
ooh, Lon might know about this. And we're lucky enough to have him coming on the show. This might be something to talk to him about.
Very true.
Because I've had everybody tell me that if you want to know about Mothman, he's the man to talk to.
Mm-hmm. I guess so.
Um, we'll have to talk to him. It just, it's blowing my mind because, I mean, part of your mind doesn't want to believe that. But I mean, when you look at the photos and you look at the video, I mean, you could, I don't, Sabrina, did you see the snout on it? Did you see that? How it had
Yeah,
that?
yeah. The one that showed the eyes really good. It looked like it had like a snout on it on the front of his
Mm-hmm.
face.
That's what, did that one picture you sent me, Sabrina? That's the one I really liked. I was showing it to Jesse. If you, or to me, it looked like it was in a canine form. You can actually see paws with the snout and everything,
Mm-hmm.
like it was a dog begging kind of looking, or maybe jumping forward. That was so creepy.
Maybe those were just dog ears then. Maybe they weren't bunny ears. I don't know why I thought Easter bunny, because it looked white.
That
Yeah.
is,
Well.
And then it turned like black.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
see, we noticed that it did turn black. And
Except
then
the
did you
face.
see
The
the
face was
like
white.
right? And then the lion's mane. It looked like it
Yeah.
had like a mane around. Then it was gone, and then the
Mhm.
shirt was on it.
Yeah, it was. We'll make sure you get the pictures in the correct order as well, because I don't think they sent in order. I numbered them for you
Okay.
because
Well,
I,
I
for
sure
some reason,
appreciate
when I
that a lot.
emailed them, they didn't send the same order.
Wow. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm just going to say that what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go back and reinvestigate it, and we're going to break it down further, try to zoom in. We will take, of course, Sabrina's photos are amazing, and Lydia and whoever else sends us in stuff, and we will analyze it and go over it. And I'll probably put it all together and just drop it in Patreon. That's a lot easier for me than to try to make a video out of it, because videos take a lot of time. It took me about 6 hours today to drop the outdoor video. So
Well, you can always do the screen recording and of it, and go back and do it in slow mo and make a video that way too.
yeah, whenever I do that, YouTube requires me, because I'm a creator. I have to
Oh,
go through their Yeah, I have to go through their process, and I have to meet their standards and agree to it and promise them that I've done it right and that there's nothing bad. And
okay.
it's a process. Yeah. But I understand why they do it, because there's people that would put anything out there if they were allowed to. So I also understand why they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sabrina, I won't keep you any longer. I sure
Okay,
appreciate
thank
everything
you.
that you've done.
Yeah, thank you for
And
coming on.
Yep, thanks for having me
yeah,
on. I'll send more photos
anytime.
as get them.
Okay, anytime you want to come on, just holler. We'll throw you a link.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
I don't know what to think, Jesse. I don't know. We're just got to look at it some more.
Mm,
I think we're finding things that nobody else is finding. That's what
I
everybody's
agree
saying.
there. I agree with you there.
I guess if you want to see it, just come on over here and we'll show it to you. I mean, we seem to be finding a lot of things. Well, if you want to, you can walk us out of this one, because we got another one tomorrow night with Mr. Travis Carpenter.
Yep, I'm looking forward to that one too.
Me
So
too.
again, everybody, please keep in your prayers Connie and Lisa Ann's sister Carolyn, Stevie B and Moggs, and Qbot, and Letitia and Barton Nunley. Um, Thank you for everyone for being here tonight. Thank you for joining us and sharing with uh, the Wolf Lady's story and her experiences. Uh, Thank you for your support, and God bless. Be kind, and we'll see you again next time.
All right, everybody. As always, I appreciate your support. I appreciate y'all showing up. I want to thank the real cryptid hunter, the Wolf Lady from the hills of Oklahoma. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being so strong. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. And you know, it takes a lot to be able to do that, and with what you've been through. Um, Tomorrow night, guys, is going to be a great show. We got Travis coming on. We're going to talk more about the DNA that was denied, the truth denied. So it's always a good show with Travis. We're going to have him on. We're going to learn, I'm sure, more. I learn everything he comes on. He is a very good friend of mine, very smart man, and he's a Christian, and he bases a lot of his investigations on the Christian values, as I do, and that is his basis for it. So tomorrow night should be a really good night. We're going to learn more about where they come from, because you really can't deny DNA, guys. DNA, I mean, DNA puts people to death. I mean, it is used in the highest crimes and is considered, what, 99, I think, 0.5% accurate. So, I mean, if it's there, it's there, right? I mean, there's got to be something to it.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm going to go and I'm going to rest. And Hunter, I love you more than anything in the world, buddy. You are my best friend, and I miss you so much, and we should be doing things together. We will be. Don't give up. I haven't given up, and I never will, and I want you to know that. And you will see your dad again. Guys, until next time, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. We'll see you on the next one. Good night, and God bless.
Good night.